Good morning. My name is Tracey Mort and I am the Director of Floral for Martin Supermarkets. We're here at our Mayflower Road location to talk about an exciting workshop that we're doing this Saturday, October 27th from 1 to 4 right here at Mayflower Road. So the workshop has two major components. The first is a demonstration. So we're going to demonstrate a bridal bouquet, a bridesmaid bouquet, and a centerpiece. The centerpiece is actually what we're going to show today. And then we also have a hands-on portion where you're going to make a toss bouquet, a corsage, and a boutonniere, and you get to take those pieces home. We're gonna also have our bakery, sampling cakes and having beautiful, beautiful sample cakes for you to look at. The experts will be here if you wanna ask questions or even place an order for a cake. And we also have Brittany. She's our catering manager. She'll be here with lots of good things to taste as well. So again, it's Saturday from 1 to 4. You can pre-register online at martinsmarkets.eventbrite.com, and it's $15 per person. So we're looking forward to seeing all of you, and today we're gonna show the centerpiece part. Now with our do-it-yourselfers out there, we have a full line of bulk flowers on our website right now. You can take a look at it. It's at partiesbymartins.com. and you just click on the bulk flowers for DIY. The centerpiece is the #1 thing that our brides often make themselves. So maybe they'll have us make the bridal bouquet, the corsages and boutonnieres, but they want to save some money, and so they decide to do their own centerpieces. So we're going to talk today about how to make your own centerpiece. So I already have the container ready. It has our floral foam in it. I'll kind of pull the leaves back so you can see it has our Oasis foam. And we're gonna talk about that at the workshop so that you know how to fully hydrate that foam and cut it so it'll fit your container. I've already pre-greened it a little bit with a greenery called Leatherleaf. Leatherleaf is a very inexpensive filler green that helps you cover up that foam. So that part I've already done for us. And then I have beautiful wax flower. I've got some orange wax flower. I've got some gorgeous seeded eucalyptus. This has become so popular. Has a great texture, fun to work with. I've already pre-cut these pieces, so they come on a large branch, and I've already pre-cut some of those pieces so that they're ready for us to use. Then in our bucket here, we have got full-size roses. We've got an ivory vendula rose, and then these are called a Playa Blanca white rose. And we have some white spray roses to use for accent in it as well. So these are real similar to the flowers that you're going to be working with if you decide to come to our fun workshop. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to put in your focal flowers. Our focal flowers are always the largest flowers that we're working with. So if you're using Gerber daisies, if you're using Fuji mums, sunflowers, those are the ones that we're going to place into the arrangement first. And when you cut those stems, you want to cut them at an angle. That really just helps us to insert it into the foam. So it doesn't affect the way the water will uptake through the stem, but it certainly gives us a nice sharp point to be able to put that into the foam much more easily. Since this is a centerpiece, we're going to want to make sure that we put some of those focal flowers all the way around the centerpiece so that no matter what angle you're sitting from on the table, you'll be able to see the pretty flowers. So we're gonna kind of do a triangle with 3 of these roses. And you're gonna cut them a little bit longer than you think you might need them because you want that to go into the foam a good inch or so. You wanna have plenty putting into the foam, otherwise they could fall out when you're ready to transport it to your venue. So we've just got kind of a little triangle going. And if you notice, I put them in at an angle so that they're facing out. You don't want them to go in from the top. You want them to be facing out at different angles so they look nice and natural and they're looking at your guests as they're sitting at the table. The next thing we're gonna enter in here is we're gonna put in some of our spray roses. So spray roses are a single stem and they have multiple blooms on them. Some of them are nice and long, and those nice and long ones we can actually snip off and use as a single bud. And then others are kind of short, so we're gonna put those together in the arrangement as they are. So again, we're gonna insert that with that nice little angle that we're cutting, and we're gonna put that in at least a good inch into the foam. So we're gonna use that for our height. You don't want it to be too tall. I think everyone has been to a wedding or an event where the centerpiece was just a little bit too tall and it was hard to see around the people at the table. So you wanna always keep that in mind, that you wanna keep it nice and low so that your guests can visit with each other without having to tilt their heads over to see the person across from them. So we're putting those in, and then we're going to accent it with our filler flower. So filler flowers, the one that we're using today is wax flower, but you can use baby's breath, you could use Solidago, Monte Cassino. Again, all of those things are on our website for you to look at all of the pretty filler flowers that we have. And some of them are nice and long. So you can see here, these are nice long pieces here, so I'm gonna cut those off. And it's important to get them into the foam fairly quickly, but you can cut a few pieces and have them laying there ready for you to go to insert them into that foam. And there's really no right or wrong. You don't, with accent flowers, you just want them to accent the primary flowers that are in the arrangement. So you don't want to overpower it. You just want them there to add a little touch and to fill in some of that green space in between the flowers. So we're just placing those in there. And you can do as much or as little filler as you want. If you want lots and lots of garden-y feel, you might use a little bit more. Here's another good example of how we can get multiple insertions here with one piece. Here's a great way to spread that out. And then we're going to add our accent greenery. So one of the reasons that it's really nice to use something like a leather leaf to fill in all of the space, it's very inexpensive, and then you can use the more expensive things like silver dollar eucalyptus, seeded eucalyptus, to accent your arrangement, and it flows really nicely down towards the bottom. So you're not using something more expensive to fill in the space, you're just using that sparingly throughout to help control some of those costs. We all know that the budget can get out of control when it comes to wedding planning. And that is why do-it-yourself, at least all or part of it, can really save you a lot of money. Now when you buy flowers bulk from Martin's, those flowers come cleaned and ready for you to use. They are already processed in our chemicals that help hydrate them and make them nice and crisp and fresh. They'll also come in a throwaway bucket so that you can take it to wherever it is that you're working on your wedding flowers, and you can not worry about how am I going to store those flowers. So we do a quality control check on all of our flowers. So there's a lot of websites that you can buy bulk flowers for do-it-yourselfers. Those flowers come directly from the farm, and they will not be hydrated, and there's no quality control. So if you open up that box and there's an issue, you have very limited time to be able to react. So we do all of that for you. We make sure that everything's perfect, and we react and make sure that you get exactly what you need. So again, we've got our event on Saturday, October 27th, 1 to 4. You can register at martinsmarkets.eventbrite.com. The cost is $15, and we hope to see you there.